Hey friends, gosh, it's been forever. I keep meaning to go live. I just can't. I can't do it yet. So I thought that maybe I would just make a quick video to share with everybody out there who's being so amazing and supportive to me during this time. I'm going to tell you right now, there's a really good chance I might actually cry through this whole entire thing, which is the reason why I'm not ready to go online live. I don't want to just sit and cry live in front of people, and I know that's what's going to happen. And okay, so it's been 4 weeks, 4.5, since my wonderful, loving, devoted soulmate son, whom is the partner in all of my early videos, my walking partner, my life partner, died in my living room of a massive heart attack. It's been life-changing, and I do want to come on here and I do want to tell his story. I appreciate all the support and all the love that I've received from everybody who's constantly checking on me. My son is very present in my home. I'm very fortunate in the fact that I, within 2 weeks of his passing, was able to hear him and started sensing him around me and hearing him. He visits me in my dreams a lot. And he is now my spiritual eyes. But it's a huge thing to adjust to. Nothing is the same anymore. My husband and I are trying to move out of this apartment because it's very triggering to walk past the spot that my son died every day. This is going to require us buying out of our lease after we find somewhere to go, which is hard right now around here. My son had 14 years of active addiction. He was introduced to hard drugs by someone he should have trusted. He should have been able to trust, which was my ex-husband at the age of 14 years old. Behind my back, my ex-husband was having him sell his prescription narcotics in the high school so that my husband could get money for street drugs without it touching our budget. All of this behind my back. My son was told if I ever found out, it would destroy our family. And he was made an addict at 14 years old by his stepfather. My son struggled with that addiction for 14 years. And if any of you out there know much about addiction or loving somebody with an addiction, it's the hardest thing. And I honestly, at different points, didn't think I would ever know my son as a sober man. My son would disappear. for days, sometimes weeks. And there was a particular time when he disappeared for 7 weeks, and I really thought he was dead. I was beginning to explore my options as far as turning him in as a missing person. Reaching out to people. I just didn't know any of his people. They were all in the drug world, and I just didn't know any of them. By some miracle, one day I received a phone call from him. He was in a hospital far away, and he was dying because he had a massive infection around his heart, in the lining of his heart, caused by using needles. And he didn't think he was going to make it. But he did. He spent weeks in the hospital, but he made it. And it scared him sober. And as soon as he got out of the hospital, he went into a rehab, inpatient. The first time he was there for 30 days. They kicked him out. He immediately relapsed. That day. The very next day, he went back in. And that time they kept him for 90 days. And after he was out, he entered intensive outpatient treatment, where he remained a patient on a maintenance drug until the day he died. My son had massive problems with his heart. He was on multiple heart medications. And he was, every day he complained of chest pains. He was on, another side effect of the drug use was that it left him with permanent psychosis. So he was on a lot of medications that had caused him to gain a lot of weight, which put stress on his heart. But when you deal with someone with an addiction, even though they've been sober for 3 years, you can't help but wonder. So the reason it took me so long to come here is because I was waiting for toxicology results and autopsy results. And my son's cause of death was STEMI, ST elevation myocardial infarction, massive heart attack. I'm not ready to tell the whole story of the events of the night. I have extreme PTSD. I relive what happened every day. I'm receiving counseling for that. And I'm surrounded by people who show me so much love and support. I also have constant contact with my son. It's just, I had to pause because my neighbors came home and my dog was going to bark. This has been the hardest thing I've ever had to live through. My son and I used to be ghost hunters together. We have a lot of equipment that we've used together. Because of that, he's very familiar with it. And he comes through loud and clear. Every single time. He also talks to me in my mind. Every single person that has come to my house has had an experience, their own personal experience. We've had shared experiences. My son's spirit is very present. But that doesn't take the pain away of not being able to hear his voice, not being able to hug him. My son was my protector, my most present companion. I had my son when I was 15 years old. I grew up with him. And I don't know who I am anymore, if not his mother. There has been some blessings that have come out of the loss of my son. I don't know if some of you follow me from long ago, or if you watch any of my old videos, you would see that I spoke of an estrangement that took place between me and my 2 younger children, caused by their father, my ex-husband, who spent a substantial amount of time in prison. The biggest blessing is that both of my children are back in my life completely. I see them all the time. I've reconnected with my sister, my younger sister, whom I hadn't spoken with in 20 years. Nothing's the same. I'm definitely experiencing some PTSD from the night that he passed. I'm not quite ready to tell that story yet. I need some time. It is not energetically responsible for me to be doing readings at this time, so I haven't been. My books are closed, and I'm not even reading any energies right now. I know that in time I will return to that, and I feel like most likely I'll be much stronger than I was before because of my connection with my son, and he will act as my spiritual eyes. So when that time comes, I'll be back. Every day is a struggle, trying to adjust to a totally different life. Every memory is a trigger. And I miss my son. My son used to tell me I love you every day. Every day. Multiple times a day. Sometimes I thought it was because he wanted something out of me. And I would say, okay, what do you want? He always said the same thing. He said, I just want you to know I love you. My son wanted to be known as that guy who loved everybody. When I was diagnosed with MS, I thought it would be my son who would be taking care of me until the day I died. But that's not how it's going to be. I'm very grateful for the return of my daughter and my other son in my life. We have been working hard on reconnecting and making up for lost time. And it's been wonderful. I have inherited my son's cat, Bruce, Kitty. I'm kind of allergic to him, so it's been a bit of an adjustment for my dog as well, because he really doesn't like Bruce Kitty. Or anyone who takes my attention for that matter. But when I realized how much Brandon was interacting with Bruce on a daily basis, there's no way I could get rid of him or rehome him. I could never let him go. And he's like my little shadow. I have 2 shadows. I miss you guys. I miss our beautiful platform and our beautiful community that we built together, the Crystal Crew. And I can't even tell you guys how many times I sat here staring at my laptop, preparing to schedule a live, and I just couldn't do it. So I'm asking you guys, don't give up on me. Don't forget about me. I'll be back. I just need a little bit more time to heal. And once I do, I'm going to be stronger than ever.